Just say hi. I don't know if this is available. Well, looks like it's zero right now. Hi, everyone. If you're here, say hi. Happy Monday. So, this is the life. Welcome to my channel. Let's talk about life here in America on a daily basis. So, Monday, as a mom, as a wife, we prepare breakfast in the morning. And then after we prepare breakfast, send our kid typically to the school. If your kid needs a school bus, if your kid needs a school bus, then you go to a bus stop and drop them off there. Then finish your errands. Today, my errands is about going to medical appointment. And talking about medical appointment, actually, I have a friend that is new here in America. She's a fellow Filipina, kababayan, kakamove lang niya dito. And she is having a difficulty about her health because part of moving to a different country, it's really a big change. I remember back in 2007 when I moved to America, my body really adjusts. I had to go to emergency room after 2 weeks. My husband had to rush me to emergency room, and she went a lot to. She said she had a multiple visits to emergency room, and I asked her if because in Philippines, if you're sick and you don't feel good, you can just go to a doctor, but there's no regular insurance in there, so you just pay it. So a lot of Filipinos, you don't go if you don't have a lot of money. There's no low income medical system that can assist you compared to America. Here, her husband, of course, the one that has a job, should be the one covering it. It's like my husband because when you petition your spouse, yeah, under conditional, the spouse is obligated to sponsor their fiance or their spouse. Okay, so go back to my friend. She's having a hard time. She's one of those is the food. And if you're Filipina here or anyone, even if you're not Filipina, give her some words of wisdom of how can we help her to to live here and adjust here without feeling like she's losing her mind or without feeling that it's not she can't handle it. As of now, I believe I'm the only person that she trusts to speak with. So it's my pleasure that she trusts me. But as her ate, I don't like to be the only person that she can hear. If I can ask other people that can give advice, the better. Because we Filipinos like to ask people, and sometimes we can be misinformed too. And then we ended up what we know is not enough, right? It's not updated. It was not helpful. But if we can get other people out there to share their experience, that would be very helpful instead of making her feel bad of what is going on with her. So I told her that I like to see out there if anyone have experience moving to a different country and have had that health issues. When I came here in US, I had a really body uh, issues. It completely shocked my body. One of those is that I had I was in dysmenorrhea and constantly have this period for more than a week, and so that's why my it was typical in some of the months that I went, but because I had a polycystic ovary syndrome, so it wasn't like normal for me to have more than that. And on top of those, I believe I had anxiety too, attack. Imagine I moving to Philippines where you don't see a lot of Filipinos. Where my husband is from, I didn't see a lot of Filipinos until I saw them working in a movie theater. But we're not friends because can't even live anywhere. I was just home, uh, making sure that I follow the requirements that wait until I get my legal papers before I can drive, before I can explore. Everything is just conditional. I just have to follow what the law is, and that's what you're going. You move to a different country, you're you can't just explore compared to foreigner coming to Philippines. Don't have to deal all of this waiting of immigration process, and they just buy a ticket and hop in the Philippines. And if you have money, you just get your license to drive. There's no testing, there's no scheduling, and all of those are so convenient when it comes to that. But uh, set aside the issue where the system is. So that's a different issue. So this is what happening to her. Um, she is having difficulty with adjustment and the structure of the family. Um, as a Filipino, we have different situation too. When you're living with a fe- fellow Filipino, how do you deal with it when you're living with your mother-in-law in the house with a fellow Filipino? So I like to hear your side. How was your relationship with them? So, because in my side, I didn't have to. I live with my mother-in-law for a short period of time, and then I'm gonna be honest. Of course, we have different cultures. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because she's learning from me, and I'm learning from her. But at the same time, it's tough for Filipina like us that someone that is not from our culture to understand us, and it's different for them to understand us too. But the good thing about that is they don't hold the grudge and they don't share the mother-in-law problem and the sister, I mean the daughter. So things like those that I was thankful about having a American in-laws. They protect the family's reputation. They're not maritas. They don't share if they don't like someone that married their child. I think that's in my experience. That's what I'm thankful for. And some of my friends are lucky too, especially they were showered with lots of gifts. But I understand my mother-in-law, father-in-law was not in a stable financial stability, but they try to be a good. They try to be parents for Adam the way that they can. So, but I didn't really experience a long-term living with parents-in-law. So, I think that's one of the things that she might be going through too. And I have no really words to say other than support her husband and share to her husband because I wouldn't tell that, oh, okay, leave your husband or threaten your husband to if you can't do this, you're gonna leave because marriage is a work. It's a lot of work. When before you married someone, you already understand the situation for sure. You are aware of, although you didn't picture that until you were there. But there's no perfect marriage. Even if your husband's the wealthiest person in the world, they're not perfect human being. But the only people that can fix that is you and your spouse. When I married my husband, of course, I was on um, heaven, fantasy, that there are things that I can do, probably more, because my mom was so strict. But then I didn't realize that, oh, I had to live in different country and I had to lead a different law, and I don't know any of this. So what I did is I did make friends. I reached out to some groups, but I have one friend and two friends in Vegas. I think when I limit my friendship that time, it was good because until now we're still friends. I did not have any friends in Las Vegas where we have any grudge from each other because it's very few. I only have two closest friends the entire was in Las Vegas. And other than that, I didn't build a huge community. I was not active with a big community. So there was no issues or problem that I have encountered. But when you go to a place where you have been involved to a bigger circle of friendship, that's when the problem. Because there's a lot of misunderstanding, miscommunications. Sometimes it started from three, and then one friend invited another one, and then another two, and another three, and it becomes a big group, a circle of friends, and you're all Filipina, and then it became divided because there's a lot of them. So if there's like multiple of them that they're seeing each other, and then suddenly there's an event and then you saw each other, you became outcasted if you're not always present, and you became the talk of the town. And sometimes you carry that behavior too because you're lonely. You became accustomed to, oh, they care about me, and we thought they care about us because we started we thought by when we say we care for them is by criticizing them, telling other people that this is what you're supposed to do, without knowing that's actually detrimental to others. And I'm not perfect. I will never be a perfect friend, but I learned that we shouldn't be hurting other people just because we have a better life. And who says that we have a better life anyway? We don't have to drag to other people that, oh, I don't need to do the hard work because my spouse has lots of money and income. Kayang-kaya kong buhayin ng asawa ko. You know, that doesn't sound nice at all. Because you can't be better than other people just because you have a lot of materials in life, and then you, you you're so generous, but you're actually buying people to listen to you. So yeah, so we have to be cautious of those people that making friends with you because they have a lot, and then they pay for your meals, and then you start talking about other people, start criticizing other people. Alam mo naman sa culture nating mga Pinoy, pag bored tayo, mahilig tayong magkwentuhan. Nangangapit bahay tayo. Tapos, pag nangangapit bahay tayo, napag-uusapan na natin yung kung sino yung wala. 'Di ba? And then, pag napag-usapan na kung sino wala, hindi na natin namamalayan. Dahil nag-share ka rin ng napansin mo, tapos hindi din maganda, guess what? Then, you are the talk of the town. Kasi ikaw yung huling, napasabi ka lang. So, be careful. Ingat kayo sa pakipagkaibigan. Hindi ko, I love, of course. Gusto ko, syempre naman, masaya ako na marami pa rin akong friends sa Pilipinas. Pero, nakakalungkot lang pagka nakakamit ka ng mga Pinoy na gano'n ba? Na mas masaya pag pinag-uusapan yung buhay ng iba. Tapos kung pag-uusapan naman, hindi compliment. It's more of negative side of that person. So, syempre, yung pinagkukwentuhan mo, bad image. So, I was hurt nung nangyari sa akin yan. Alam mo yun, nag-invest ka ng ilang years, tapos ikaw pala yung ano, ikaw pala yung topic in the end. Kasi wala ka na, hindi ka na magpapakita. Kaya keep your circle small. And then, pagka halimbawa, nagkakaroon ka ng anxiety, kasi nga ibang bansa to, prayer is very powerful. Pero syempre, behind of that, you wanted to make sure that ma-share mo rin yun sa asawa mo. Kasi in the marriage, if you keep it to yourself and you don't tell it to your husband, what you're going through, one of those days, you're going to erupt and you put 100% blame on him. And then out of nowhere, he never know. He doesn't know. Why did it happen? So sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not. You balance it. You find the right time to say that, when to say and not to say. So that's the life that that you believe that you wanted to be, because you chose to move just to be with him. Especially for us Filipinas that we come here, wala tayong income. We're not making more money than our spouse. When most of us, when they petition us, we rely on their income, right? We don't come here immediately and then we get a job. I mean, some does. Siguro, nagkataon na by the time they get here. Pero I don't know ha, kasi kung fiancé ka, that means you can't work. You can't legally work. So if you were petitioned as a fiancé or a spouse, if you're rich already and you have savings, good for you. But if you rely on the income of your husband the moment you come here, syempre importante, yung taong nakakaalam ng pinagdadaanan mo. Yung taong primary reason na nandito ka at nag-vouch sa'yo na susuportahan ka, kaya kanya dinala dito. Leave all your trust to the person you're with, not your friends na na-meet mo lang at naging galante lang kasi nga marami na silang ganito, money, and they pay and give you so much gift and then start telling you, hey, this is the way, this is how we live here, this is how you can be accepted by the peers. No. You want to live where you're not going to rely the help of other people. Kasi pag nag-rely ka sa kanila, then you tend to be influenced by their own suggestions. Tapos, pag hindi mo naman dumating sa point na hindi ka na-agree, may hurt ka pagka ostracize ka na nila. Kasi iba na yung values mo, mas may naisip ka na much better pa rin na yung gusto mong gawin, hindi yung gusto nilang gawin. You can have friends, but you set your limits. How much do you trust them? If you're struggling mental health, see the mental health specialist. Kung may insurance yung asawa mo, covered yan. Mental health is not bad. Tabo lang kasi yan sa atin sa Pilipinas. Mental health means meron kang kinakausap na specialist and you share how you feel and she listen. She doesn't judge you. She doesn't tell you, oh, you need to take medicine now because you sound like crazy now. That's not their job. Psychologists listen to you. In every session, they listen to you. And then, eventually, after many sessions, they'll tell you how they can help you. Minsan kasi, you guys would say, I don't want it because I've been going the same thing, but it never gets fixed. The thing is, different psychologists has different strategy. What you can do is tell your psychologist, ano ba yung gusto mong gawin para sa'yo? They don't make decision for you. What is your goal? Bakit kailangan mo siyang makausap? Let's say your goal is that, like, if my friend is listening, you can ask your therapist, like, my goal is to stop having anxiety for worrying too much being here. And then you tell all the worries. Wala, she cannot disclose those to anyone. Hindi niya yun imamarites. Because by law, that's protected. Hindi yun lalabas. Her role is siya yung taga-absorb ng lahat ng nararamdaman mo. And then, she's not gonna tell you if you're wrong or right. But she's gonna give you tips. Like, have you tried this? Try this one if this works. And then you come back and then you tell her it doesn't work. And then she's gonna tell you, try it again, go try it again. Until you realize na hindi mo na siya kailangan. I I have seen multiple therapists because my friends are not my therapist. I know I can share it, but if my friends are, I made them disappoint, and then they were listening to me, but then they were not really listening to me because they're going through a lot. Because that's not their role. It's not gonna go anywhere. Or baka ma-misinterpret ka and they would just say that isa kang madrama. You can share minimal because they have a lot of going through. Unless, you have family that you can talk to, tell them. But I suggest, if that's available to your end. Sorry, I'm just cleaning right now before I go to medical appointment, and I'm sharing my perspective, and I'm giving out there support to the people that gonna live here. You chose to live here, or you chose, even though you're visiting, you're part of this conversation too. That it's always important that you ask the people, the person that brought you here, the things that will help you. Like if you say, hey, do you have this? I'm worried about this. How can I get this? And then if he doesn't know, ask your spouse, hey, do you think there's some Filipino church around that you can ask? Because I'm pretty sure your spouse knows his home. And then they can reach out, especially people that goes to church. They have a big community that they knows a lot of services, and you'll get help. You won't be in a wrong position. Okay, talking about medical and anxiety. So medical, when I went to emergency room, my primary is my husband's primary. So I set up he set up an appointment so I can see the primary, because emergency room is not your primary doctor. The reason they were called emergency room, kasi nga, you need immediate care. Kung ano yung situation mo that time, that's all they can address. And then, if they can address it later on, that's when you need your doctor to see you. So, it's not like in Philippines, I want to go to this and I can just help on this. Primary will have to observe you and write all your symptoms, kasi nga ang bayad dito insurance. Hindi ka nila basta-basta i-refer. Hindi, like, if I want to see neurologist, let's say, hey doc, I want to see my neurologist. Take me there. It's not like that, because insurance going to see how come that he needs a neurologist. What are the symptoms, Because it costs a lot. It costs a lot to pay a specialist. They need to learn about you. They need to know if it's true. Baka nga, hindi naman talaga neurologist ang kailangan mo. Iba pala, let's say, instead of neurologist, ang kailangan mo pala ay oncologist. Things like those. That's why the symptoms is so important to tell your doctor. In that way, your doctor will study and see that, okay, this kind of specialist is for this. Like my friend have digestive issue. Usually, Primary doctor will give you some remedy. That's how it works. And then if it doesn't work for months, you're going to follow what your primary. That's after all of the symptoms, that's when your primary doctor would say, okay, I will refer you. That's why when they ask you, how long have you been going through with that? You need to track it. It's not like, oh, just last week. You need to track it. And then, of course, you're going to ask, have you tried this? What I told you. And then you're going to say, yes, I have this, still this, and this, and this, and this. They will say, okay, baka naman you don't need oncologist. You need ENT. You need, it's just like, it's based on your symptoms. You need, things like those. You don't dictate them immediately, especially if your doctor have not met you, they don't know you. I was switching different doctor before, so it's so important you get your medical records with you. You're moving here, make sure you get your medical records, because even though your husband knows you, I'm pretty sure your husband doesn't know your medical records history. So you're the only one knows, or the doctor that knows your past. And if you tell them, I had this, I was treated this in my country, then that's good. Because they're going to see if that was still the same concern you have. In that way, you get to see a specialist. I'm going to have a medical doctor appointment because I have been going through some concerns with after the car accident, and there are some treatments that I have tried. So now I'm gonna have a nerve testing for the first time, and I'll see what will be the result. Hopefully everything is fine. Yeah, because before you get to the highest part of treatment, it's always needed na merong supports the why do you need to get there, and why it doesn't work for years and years. It's not a quick fix, emergency. It's just treated right away only of what is going on at that time. They don't order a specialist for you sa emergency room. That's how here in US, you need to have a primary doctor. And in Philippines, we don't have that primary doctor. I think we would be,
They give you specialists if you need surgery, though.
yeah.
That's the only time.
Well, I had neurologists because I have multiple times the
But if
issues.
you have like an issue, your you need an organ removed or something, you'll
Oh
get a
yeah.
specialist. You know,
Oh
if
yes.
you're gonna die if you don't have a surgery right now.
There
But
you
most
go.
people don't have that issue when they're in the ER.
I have a friend in Philippines. She had a surgery and suddenly she see a lot of specialists.
Yep.
So it's too late already.
Well, that's why you need specialists. They need to
That's
follow up the
why,
surgery if it's successful.
because we don't have insurance in the Philippines, and a lot of us, we don't go see the doctor. And by the time that the symptoms is worsened, it's too late. We ended up straight to surgery because we're afraid for the cost.
I think a lot of people don't realize too that food is your medicine.
That's another thing too.
Like if you're just putting whatever in your mouth and eating it, you could be the one causing the harm to your body. Like eating wrong, because like even like vitamins, you shouldn't eat vitamins if you're eating all the proper nutrients, and, you know. But
Yes.
health,
Yes.
that's why homeopathic medicine it's more useful if you're cautious in your diet, then you're not getting sick as much because or in exercising, and I think people know generally what's the right thing to do for themselves, but it's hard because so much food tastes good, it's not good for you.
Yes, your body is adjusting to from used to whatever makes me feel good to whatever makes me feel healthy, but it doesn't, something I'm not used to taste. Something, I mean, like Filipinos, we love rice. So when we go to a different country and there's no rice, that's, yeah, that, there's a negative impact on that. We're shaking, we feel like we're losing our mind, like we miss this. So it's gradual. It's a gradual for you to realize, okay, I shouldn't be eating a lot of rice. Breakfast, it shouldn't be rice. It shouldn't be rice every day on a same day, and then lots and lots of meat, and then no veggies. So if you're having a digestion problem, you can. My suggestion is avoid foods that are going to irritate your your body. Compare what were the foods that you were eating in the Philippines, and how much was it back when you move it, because it's a big portion here in
Or
US.
do a reset in your body, and
But what do
it's
you
kind
say?
of an icky subject, but do like a colon cleanse,
So how
and
do
then you clean
you
out your body, and you can start over. Your digestion system will reset.
so how do you suggest that to someone, my friend that is just new in US, and then her husband, they're both young.
Well, for you, I ordered that Dr. Natura, and then you took it, and then you're drinking these, and basically makes you poo a lot, and then it cleans out your intestine.
Yes, you
But
can
there's
try
certain
that
ones,
too.
there's certain ones that make you feel terrible, and there's other ones that it's more gradual for your digestive system.
Yeah,
So you're not
so
stuck in the toilet like in pain. But some of them will be in pain the whole time, so you need to do your research.
do your
What's the right
research,
one?
and if your husband can support you, do it both at the same time. Because if you both, you have support from each other. Like, hey, I feel this. Oh yeah, that's common. That's normal. So you don't feel like, why do I have to do this? Is it just because I'm the one here that doesn't eat good? But a reset of body doesn't have to feel sick.
No, the one we use that we don't we don't get paid to talk about it, but it's called
Yeah.
Dr. Natura, and it's like a tea at night, and then in the morning you take like some capsules and some powder, and that's it. It makes you go to the bathroom a lot, and after a month you feel better, and you don't even crave those sugars anymore that much, or those unhealthy foods, because your body doesn't need that stuff.
Yes,
It's like because
it,
your intestine is very important organ. Like if it's clogged full of stuff doesn't need to be there, then you're not absorbing the nutrients like you need to in your body. So that's that's more homeopathic. The, if you go to a regular doctor, like to the hospital or something, they'll just give you a laxative, and it doesn't help anything.
it
Just
doesn't help.
there's nothing is being clear except you have a stomach ache now, and it's not a good
Yes.
thing. But if you go and you actually cleanse your body out,
Yeah, if you cleanse your body,
like
less chances for you to go to doctor, which is better, right?
yeah, and you won't have as many digestive issues because your digestion has been cleaned out. So
Okay.
that's my go-to when I kept having like almost like GERD. You know, you're like burping and gas all the time, and then your
Yeah.
stomach hurts, and then your bathroom time is irregular. Like you either have runs or you have the opposite. You can't go at all.
That's
A
awful
lot of the
feeling.
food we eat here in America, like it doesn't promote a healthy gut in your intestines, all that. Um, but cleaning it out, like it helps. But of course, you should talk to your doctor first before doing anything like that, because
Yes.
you don't make sure you actually that's another thing too. When you have a doctor, look for a DO
Oh
instead of
yeah.
an MD.
Look for
A
a
DO,
DO.
MD. When you have a sickness, an MD, they're gonna go straight to pills and drugs. But a DO, they're gonna look more of like your whole body functioning as a whole, and they're more they think more of the whole body instead of just your one symptom. Oh, I have a headache. Okay,
Yep.
well take Tylenol for an MD. A DO will be like, you have a headache. Do you have any other symptom? And they can maybe narrow it down. Why do you have a headache? Instead, but that's still Western medicine, but it's homeopathic is more like towards Eastern medicine. It's been around longer. The Chinese have been practicing medicine for thousands of years, where they have some knowledge there that a lot of Western medicine wants to discredit because there's not a lot of money to be made in being healthy. So yeah, just clean yourself, like clean your gut if you can do it. You'll notice, like I have a brain injury. I have my mind is more clear when I eat healthier. Also lose weight.
Sorry.
It's just
I know there's a noise here.
yeah, it's just like a vanity thing. But I'm okay for that. But that's a side effect. You'll probably lose weight too if you have like a pooch in your belly. Um, Cleaning out your intestine. It's
Yeah,
like a
she
big
has a hard time with the food here, and her body is.
yeah.
She's new. She's a Filipina. She's tiny, and I gained weight a lot when I moved to America because the food is big portion. It's really good.
Anyways, this is the tea I use. Dr. Natura. Um, they have like a program for you take this with the capsules and the thing. It's like for 30 days. It's not cheap, but neither is a trip to the ER or a trip to get your medications from the doctor. That's expensive too. So I just weigh that against that, and I don't know. I have less digestive issues now than before, but I used to like to eat steak and meat all the time and sushi and all these other things. I still do, but I limit how much now. And then like starches, like a lot of the they what they call it carbohydrates, carbs, like bad carbs, like spaghetti noodles and and breads and white rice. It's better to have the fiber with rice if you're having rice. I know it doesn't taste as good, like, but you can get used to it. There's like red rice and black rice and these other rices than just white rice. They they don't remove the husk of the rice, so you eat that, it actually will make you go more. So eating those simple carbs, also like chips and crackers and all these kind of other foods, like they can uh, they can do a number on your digestion as well. So it's really easy to eat unhealthy in America. Um, the main reason I think is it's cheaper. Like it's more expensive to buy fresh fruits and vegetables and fresh things, but um, cheat code, Dr. Natura. that's what that's what I do. I do it probably like at least once every 6 months, and then those tea bags I just showed you, they're just tea at night. They're pretty tastes pretty good. When I wake up in the morning, I have to immediately go. It's not like I'm gonna have an accident or anything. It's that strong, but it's more like it just forces you to go. You go every day. Your body should go every day. Um, number two, but I don't know. I hope this helps somebody to what, if you're really having a digestive issue. But it works. It really works. Do the program like 30 days. I think your first time you're supposed to do 90 days. I never last that long. Jackie did it the full 90 days, but I think I did like 60 something days, and I felt fine. I felt good. And my cravings went away. So that's how you know that you're feeling a lot better. But but yeah, that's all. And I know that you're it's a lot of pain. I've had ulcers before. It doesn't feel good. It's a whole stress thing too. Um, Finding if you exercise, find an exercise that you enjoy. I personally don't like going to a gym. It's like there's the meat market, like everyone's staring at each other, and it's just kind of awkward. And oh, I'm gonna lift weights, and I'd rather my exercise have purpose. So do a cardio you like. If you like to ride bikes, or if you like to go for a run outside, or if you like to swim, if you like to, I like to play Beat Saber on my Oculus. That's my cardio that I like to do. But just find something you enjoy, and you're gonna be more likely to do that exercise and for cardio. But anyway, here's Jackie back.
Well, yes, I'm going to my doctor appointment now, and I think my husband's input. I'm gonna show. Yeah, so now it's time for me to get ready. So here in USA, if you're new, of course your husband is always in your appointment, right? And this is why it's so important that you learn to drive, because if you don't know how to drive and you're experiencing some of the symptoms that you can't wait for your husband, you don't want your husband to always lose time to work too. You're both affected. That affects his income, that affects his work performance too. His boss not gonna be happy because you didn't know how, you didn't want to drive. That affects you both. So you need to be pretty much starting to learn how to be more sufficient on your own without relying to your husband.
Plus, driving is like freedom here. Like
Yes.
you don't have to rely on other people to go where places, or and it's cheaper than the Uber every day.
Yep.
So just
And you trust that you have your comfort. Bye, hubby. I love
bye.
you.
Have a good one. I love you. I'll see you.
I'll see you later.
My
So,
school's kind of late tonight, so
okay. So that's our life. I know you will get used to the life of doing on your own. You're not lonely. I'm telling you, you're not lonely. It's just that you're both young. You still don't have enough money to stay home together. Even though my husband's retired, he he still need to grow on his career. He has this education benefits that hold on. He still have that education benefits that he don't want to waste, because in the long run it's going to benefit us. And so we continue helping each other. And my role is to keep the family together, healthy and safe. The food, making sure we go on a medical appointments on time, especially for our son. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna put you here. Okay. Now, here, I'm not gonna be able to I'm not gonna be able to oh, I'm not gonna be able to respond or text while, or but I could share something from you guys that hold on. Is it here? I will be looking at the road the entire time. So this is my son went to school, my time to go to my doctor. Yeah, so this appointment that I'm going is because to see a specialist before, multiple specialists, and then I have to go back again to my primary doctor because symptoms came back. After that, they have to review again. Okay, where do we go back from? She asked me all my history, and then I get, she gave me some referrals. Maybe it's been like almost more than 2 years. We're doing a testing today because further testing will give you more, it's deeper understanding of the doctor. Where does she needs to target your health issues? Eh, we're lucky that we are here in USA, because in USA we have our own doctors that monitor our health. We have insurance, and if you are low income, you can still avail to have insurance. Um, but you don't get to choose where how do they treat you. Everything has to go through to your primary care medical doctor. That's why they were called primary. Primary means, of course, right, first. The first to consult, the first to know, to evaluate you. When you see a doctor, they evaluate you of all the things that bothers you, all the limitations that you're going through on your health. And this is why you don't just see them once a year. You get to see them when your symptoms are not making you function as you were before. So me, I'm able to schedule it the time that my son is at school. I'm thankful for that because I didn't have to worry about someone's picking him up because it's only like an hour. And then after that, I will not have a problem anymore to go somewhere and wait. I will wait for the result of my primary. So there's like a portal that you just log in, and then the result, it will say there that you need, if you need more testing, or if they say, okay, it looks, everything is fine, there's no issues. So you feel better of that testing that she did. Or she would tell you, you know what, there's kind of like concerning in this area, and I think what we can do is to get you another assessment in this specific concern. If it doesn't resolve your concern, but that's why it's so important that you follow up to them. And this is why our schedule became so overwhelmed. But if we're choosing the food that we're eating, we go on a run or health, you know, it's very important. We're moving, we're walking, and the feeling of being helpless as much as possible is not gonna help, but more of do some kind of things that will release your tension. And when I say that, like, what do you like to do? When I was having an anxiety after, or I had a postpartum after I gave birth, I love watching shows that makes me laugh, that makes me smile and movie. And I happened to meet people that were mothers that they welcome their house to bring myself. My husband will bring me and our kid, and they will play with my son. They will cook for me. So those are so nice of them. I have some good friends in Florida that does that too. That's why you want to choose a very very close friend only. Do not. I suggest not to have a lot of friends that you cannot keep up with because, like I said earlier, there will be a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of informations transferred to different people about you, and the hardest part is that because it's a big group, next thing you know, you don't have the chance to defend yourself, and everyone is against you. So yeah, for my fellow Filipina who just made it here in America, I understand the feeling of nervous, the feeling of I just want to be back. I don't feel like this is a home for me. That's natural. My son is having that issue when we talk about moving to Philippines someday because especially he has autism, he's accustomed to the way we are life here. He doesn't see the life out there until we're there. But what he sees is, this is what I want, and I'm not moving and I'm not living. But so far, right now, it's helping him to see the good things because he remembered he had a good experience in Japan. So I told him, you know what? Remember Japan? You love riding trains. When we live in Philippines, we can afford to visit Japan. It's closer, and we can see auntie that lives there and your cousins. So, out of nowhere, he's starting watching the Japanese train because he gets so interested to bring back the good memories he had that can connect the transition if we ever move to Philippines. If you move here, when you're here in US and you feel that you're not getting the support, you have to tell exactly what support you like. If your spouse can't, I'm pretty sure there's a church over there that at least once a week you can go. And then when you go there, you'll meet some people over there. So that's why it's so important that you always speak up and share what you feel, how you feel, to keep that marriage successful. And then you don't want to feel resentful or regrets that you chose to move. So yeah, and I thank you and appreciate that you are here and your time. And so right now the traffic is not so bad going to my medical office. And so I'm so glad to drive to my medical office. So I don't normally go to this medical place. It's the same name of the hospital, but it's a different location. So that's why it's so important to have you're capable to drive on your own. Your doctor, next thing you know, the available testing or the available specialist is not where the location you're used to. So I'm driving far from my primary doctor. I thought of earlier like, oh, it's easier. So you give an advance. Like we Filipino likes to leave last minute, and then we like to um, show up late. And I heard that also medical appointments in the Philippines is not always on time, and that's kind of a challenge here. If this is the time that you are given, you have to be there 15 minutes early, or you will lose that spot. Your insurance still going to cover you if you show up or you didn't show up, because they have this policy that you have 24 hours to notify them. Your doctor's time is so valuable. And so I'm driving. My appointment is still have 30 minutes. And this morning, I prepared breakfast for my son. I was able to clean some of our stuff. And then my husband, I'm so glad that he was able to share his perspective too. He helped me with this live stream. And then now I'm heading to my appointment while my husband going to school and my son is at school. And I'm able to share with you. Uh, we don't, even though we live in America, we're not fully spoiled, okay? We have to be responsible all the time on our own. We don't we don't wait for someone to help us, because it's so important that everybody has a chance to work on their own too, because if we rely to them, it's causing them a delay to help themselves too. And lucky if you came here younger, but for our parents, of course, it's different. If you petition your parents and they're kind of like really old, they have to rely on you. And you would notice that parents, elders, when they move here in USA, it they're having a tough time. I didn't petition my mom because I was working two jobs. I felt like that's terrible for her if I'm going to keep her home, right? And you always pay attention when you're driving. It's not traffic today. That's why I like morning. The hardest part is when you're driving to the big city in San Diego. Oh yeah. If your appointment is afternoon there, good luck. Sometimes you could be sitting 1.5 hours. So today I do hope that I share with you some important informations that would be so valuable for you to understand that getting care for yourself is is available, but all you have to do is do the process like we do here. Look for your doctor, and then you tell your doctor what you need. Take care of yourself instead of choosing all the food that will harm your body. Just the food that I mean, it doesn't hurt if you like them, but moderation. Don't have to eat them every day. So we're in right now. The traffic flows is really good, and I don't think that you can. Yeah, I'm not able to show the traffic here because my phone is not in a mode where I can just put it over here to show you. But maybe I can get something later that I can show them to you. But that's all for now, and thank you, and have a wonderful day.